Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Candace Smith, and this is Pasco Connect Community Talk. I am so excited to be here with you today. As you know, Community Talk is an opportunity for different leaders, activists, different people that are active in the community to come on to Pasco Connect and share with you all what they have going on, what issues that they're raising, and different things like that. So I'm super excited today to have this interview. It's been a long time coming. I actually had the privilege of meeting Kathy Lewis months ago, I believe, and we have had several conversations, and we have plans to get together very soon that we keep saying, but I'm so excited to have her on here today. Kathy Lewis is the candidate for Florida State Senate District 20. She's a disability advocate, author, and motivational speaker. And I'm so excited to have her on here today. I'm so excited for Marlowe Jones to be here today, co-hosting with me. He is the president of Pasco Young Revolutionaries, and an activist, and has been doing a lot in Pasco community, speaking up on issues in the community. So I'm excited to have him back as well. And so welcome, Kathy. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much, Candace and Marlowe, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome.
It's an exciting time.
Yes, it is, with the 2020 elections coming up. How are you feeling about this year's election?
We are very excited. Of course, you know, it's wonderful to have an African-American female on the top of the ticket. So that's fantastic. And our race is very exciting, lots of energy surrounding it. So we're ready to push for these last three weeks or so.
Awesome. So do you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself? Just catch us up. I know about you, but tell everybody else a little bit about you.
Sure. Okay, sure. Well, again, I'm Kathy Lewis. I am a candidate for State Senate in District 20, which is parts of Pasco, Hillsborough, and Polk counties. And this is our second time running for this seat. We ran in 2018. And of course, when we ran in 2018, everyone said we were crazy. You know, I was just sort of this angry parent that decided to run because I have a child with a disability. And I got frustrated with the way the state handles things and just decided to run. And look, no hope of winning or anything like that. I just wanted to tell the story. But we completely overperformed and got 46.5% of the vote. So that was in 2018. So when that same senator resigned back in May, of course, we're up and at it again. We have to. We came so close when everyone told us we were crazy. We were going against a very powerful politician, and everyone was saying, Kathy, you're not going to win. It's unwinnable. But I'm from Baltimore. Baltimore's a beautiful city. We talked a little bit about that, Candace. The worst sections of Baltimore, surrounded by drug use, gun violence. My mother was shot with a stray bullet. And so unwinnable situations are very familiar to me. So people saying it was an unwinnable race, we hear some of that talk even still, didn't bother me. And I felt like, you know, you have to, at some point in life when things are happening, you just feel like you can't take it anymore and you have to act. And that's what we're doing this time as well.
Wow. I absolutely love that. I love just the whole spirit of it. You know, it's very inspiring because in the South, in Florida, it can seem very daunting, you know, the task of taking on the Republican Party. So the fact that you have come here from entirely different states, learned the ropes of Florida, and just become this pillar in the community really does say a lot. And like you said, you only been here 11 years, right?
Yes, 11 years.
Yes, so that's just awesome. I feel like it's very inspiring. And then as well, of course, to be an African American woman. I am personally very inspired by everything that you do. I love your Strong Woman campaign. Do you mind just telling us a little bit about that? I know that wasn't on here, but just tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Yeah, last Thursday we had a Strong Women event. Basically, it was an event about our campaign. We invited several strong women, one of which was Shannon Watts, the founder of Moms Demand Action. We had Shataka Light, who was from the reality TV show Family by the Ton, and several other guest speakers. We had the poet from Tampa, Spoken Word, Andresia, and it was just outstanding. Everyone left that event feeling, and it was a Zoom event, but feeling inspired and ready to do action. And that's what we're all about. You know, Candace, we've been talking about lots of issues, in particular issues in the African American community for decades. You know, I said my mother was shot by a stray bullet. That was nearly 50 years ago. And every day when I was a child and a young adult, every time I went outside, it was basically an active shooter situation. So these problems or challenges have been around for a very long time. They're spreading elsewhere, and we have to finally begin to do something about them. That was what our Strong Women event was about, among other things. You know, I got here because of disability rights and things like that. But as I said, we are all strong women. That's how we're able to manage in this world. You have to be. And, you know, I'm from Baltimore. I scratched and clawed my way to Johns Hopkins and graduated from there, and met my husband and sort of changed my life. But I like to tell people, you know, when you escape poverty, when you get out of the hood, if you will, it leaves you with a particular set of skills. So I know how to get things done in unwinnable situations in a fearless, sort of caring way. And that's what I hope to bring to the legislature this time around.
Awesome. I love every part of that. So I do want to just briefly touch on your disability advocacy. As you know, I have a son, 16, who is autistic, and we've talked about that. We've talked a lot about that. You've actually helped me out a lot in that area. So thank you for that, first of all. And so I just would love, just very briefly, tell us about, you know, your journey through advocacy and disability.
Yes, our daughter is 23 now. And as you know, and we talked a little bit about this, Candace, when she turned 18, you qualify for certain state benefits. It took us 15 months to get her even qualified, which is a whole nightmare of paperwork and doctor visits and all kinds of approvals. But we got that done. And then we really needed help with our daughter. One of the challenges our daughter has, she just really doesn't sleep very much. And we tried to accommodate it, but you can't really accommodate it. So we needed help. And we kept being put on this sort of wait list, or they said the case was in review. You know how they say that. And it was in review for months. And I understand some people are in review or on a waiting list for decades, for many, many years. So after 4 months, I had become very frustrated. I wrote a letter to 75 people, the Health and Human Services Secretary in DC, all the way down to everybody at the Agency for Persons with Disabilities that I could think of. And I sent it at 3:30 in the morning, once my daughter had gone to sleep. And at 9 a.m., that office in DC called me. I almost fainted. They never called. Must have been some sort of an email. Right. And then she told me to call the Administrator for Disabilities at 10 a.m. for the entire country, which I did. And that lady also answered the phone. And she said this, Candace, this is what the lady said. She said, "I've already spoken to those people in Florida. And if you don't hear anything in 2 days, you call me back." That was a Thursday. By Tuesday, my daughter's case was fully funded and ready to go. Right. Her benefits is another nightmare. However, I was glad I was able to get that. And also I want to add that next week, all the lawyers were calling me. So I knew I was on the right track anyway, if that hadn't happened so quickly. But it made me so angry that I had to write to DC to get the people in Florida to do their jobs. And I started thinking, what are other families doing? I couldn't sleep at night. And this is a serious problem. And even now I've had people call me with COVID and things that are going on, that clients that are in group homes are going to be evicted because the group homes aren't being paid their monthly, fees for months. This is happening now. And I told everyone that November 4th, I will actually be looking into this. I mean, I can't really do this with any real gusto right now. I have to get through the election. But once that's over, that will be a top priority of mine, win or lose. And that's sort of how we ended up running for office, the disability. We don't have powerful, wealthy lobbyists working on behalf of people with disabilities.
Right.
We have to balance a budget. It's going to be a hard time next time. Of course, they're going to be looking at Medicaid, the Med waiver, all those things where they first come to, trying to basically socialize these losses. I'm hoping that I will be in the room to try to halt or thwart or stop this, at least bring awareness to it. We can't keep going here. And that's my plan.
Wow. I just, it's taking my breath away, because you're absolutely right. Like, it's horrible when it comes to disabilities. I struggle so much with getting certain things for my son, and it's like you say, once you have identified a need that they need, it's hard to get that need fulfilled. And, for you to come from another state and to see it as an issue, living here is like a nightmare, but what do I have to compare it with?
Yeah.
Because this just seems like the way it is. So, I'm glad that we finally have somebody that's out there advocating for this. I've talked to a lot of women here in Port Richey who also have children with autism and other learning disabilities, and we're often comparing notes and crying and laughing and everything else, sharing tips and all of that stuff, just trying to support each other through everything, because we don't know anything. Trying to learn everything that we can. So that part, when it comes to the government and going into that, it's like a foreign language to mothers. It's like a foreign language to parents.
Absolutely.
Understand the policies and everything like that. So to know that there is somebody already advocating for that really, kind of makes me want to do a sigh of relief, because it's really been hard.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's extremely hard. And about 1 in 4 of us in the state of Florida identify as having some sort of a disability. And when you put alongside those people who actually work with people with disabilities, we can get at close to 50% of the people in Florida. It's a big voting block of people. Yeah. We just have to come together, rally together, and start to make effective change. And that's what I'm hoping when I get there, that I will stand up to all of this other dysfunction and nonsense. I mean, aside from COVID-19 protections, we have to do that, first and foremost. And that's where we should start. But after that, we have to go right back to the challenges we have in all the other areas with, equal rights, disability rights, the environment, education, all of the usual things.
Right.
Yeah. Very much so. How's it going, everybody?
Good. Hey, Marlowe.
Kathy, I've been listening, and Candace, I'm going to just jump in for a minute before I lose what I was going to say. But I've been listening to your story, and wow, and it definitely sounds like a New York Times bestseller for sure. And I say that because it's inspiring to see a strong Black woman stand up in the South. It's inspiring because I was raised by my mother and grandmother. And where I'm from, we didn't have any male figures. So the women were all we knew in our lives. They took care of us. And to hear some of the things you were talking about that you went through with your family, growing up in Baltimore, it kind of just reminded me about some of the things that I experienced in my childhood growing up here in the South. I remember being a kid and there was a drive-by shooting at my grandmother's house, and my cousin Crystal got shot in the head. Mm-hmm. And by God, she survived and she's still living. But, I just remember being 8 years old and just being that traumatic, that was just very traumatic for anybody to experience. So when I hear you talk about the things that you experienced in Baltimore, and what I like what you said is, when we go other places, when we grew up in the streets, how we grew up, and we had to grow up tough and we had to grow up fast, we really do have a step up, I feel, because you can't really beat us down no more than we already been beat down.
Oh, no. That's right.
And, so hearing you talk about that, it's very inspiring, because, coming from Baltimore and then coming down south, where, boy, I think you've already known, you've been in the political arena for quite some time. Yeah. Some of these folks, even some of our Democratic colleagues.
Yeah.
What color are y'all again? Red or blue? But it's inspiring, because I know when I got involved in politics about 5 years ago, and I was going to run for a state house in Tallahassee, people were telling me, you can't do it. You're not going to win. You're black. That's the first thing most people would say, you're black. And this is a Republican-controlled legislator. It's a Republican-controlled, gerrymandered up system, and you're not going to win. You got to raise over $200,000. Who do you know that has that type of money? I mean, I even had, that's just what it was. Yep. People, all sides of the aisle, were begging me to step out of that race. And eventually I did, in hindsight, just because I wanted to think about my political future, and I wanted to spend more time with my daughter, who was just born at the time. And I knew at that time I wasn't ready, because I believe if you're going to run for some type of political office, you need to be prepared 4 years prior. You need to do your homework. You need to be prepared. You need to be more than prepared, especially if you're a black man or a black woman. You got to work twice as hard.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I learned a lot. So I do want to thank you for not giving up. You did amazing in 2018. Like you said, nobody thought that was going to happen. I remember I was sitting, I believe the Ledbetters, we're all having some type of dinner or something, and we're just watching the results come back, from the different races that were going on. And you definitely surprised a lot of people. I mean, I knew you were going to do well just because listening to you speak and stuff like that. But, I do wish you the best in this Senate race. Like I said to you earlier today, I've been seeing you everywhere, trucks, signs, I see you
saw the trucks?
I love the momentum. I hope it keeps going, and I hope if there's anything I can personally do within these next 3 weeks, whether that's phone banking, canvassing, or anything that I could do, please let me know, because we need more sisters in Tallahassee. We need more in all forms of government, locally and at the state level too. So I support you here at Pasco Young Revolutionaries. I know our brothers and sisters at Black Lives Matter also support you. So keep doing everything you're doing, and your story is inspiring, and we're going to see a victory.
Yes, I certainly hope so. Thank you so much, Marlowe. Every time I see you, you inspire me. Both you and Candace, I guess I last saw you all in June when we first started up. And we thought we'd be a lot farther along with this pandemic by now, but unfortunately we're not. But here we are.
When you get to Tallahassee, can you just please tell Governor DeSantis and all the rest of them down there, if they can just please fix that broken unemployment system before they try to push through that Jim Crow legislation? Right. Please.
Honestly, that's exactly what I was talking about in 2018 with my daughter accessing benefits. It's the same thing with the unemployment. The voter registration crashed. We have serious problems.
Yeah,
voter registration. No one seems to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. It's sad, and it's like they keep pumping money into the companies that have failed us, that have created these broken systems. And just to hear the governor want to call a special session for a day for his Jim Crow legislation on protesting and protesters, but doesn't want to call a special session to fix the broken unemployment system that many millions of Floridians, 1.5, 1.3 million people are still experiencing. And it's only getting worse because of the federal money that stopped from the coronavirus first HEROES Act. So it's pretty sad. All we can do is hope and pray, but we know once you get to Tallahassee that you will go ahead and do good things.
I certainly plan to, absolutely, and do what is right, which is often the hardest thing to do. But we have to do what's right for the people, not special interests, not the wealthy, not anyone who has some other agenda, but for the people, for sure.
Absolutely. So, Kathy, what are some ways that people can support your campaign how can we support you? How can anybody support you? And in what different ways can they support you?
Yes, absolutely. We have a few weeks left, so we're pushing really hard with phone banking, texting, and we're doing door drops. We're not knocking on doors, but we're dropping literature at the front doors. Those are the three main things we're working on. Of course, we have a huge social media digital platform for us, and we have people taking care of that. But mostly we always need donations. No amount is too small. We also need volunteers to help with the phone banking. You can do that right from your own home, and texting. And the texting has been really, really successful for us. A lot of young people like to text. It's perfect. We can get you set up. And if you'd like to go outside and get some fresh air, we can set you up with literature and we can do the door drops. And we're just leaving literature at the doors. So plenty of ways to do that. You can go to our website, Kathy, Kathy, FOR, Florida, spelled out.com. Sign up for volunteers. We'll send you some more information and we can get you started. And also, I like to give my phone number. I love to get phone calls. I generally answer them right away, or I will call back in a day or so. So my number is 813-981-3697. And please call me anytime. I want to hear your stories. I want to know what's going on in our district. It's hard for me to know and see everything, but I really want to know, so call me anytime.
Okay, absolutely. So that you guys heard that was Kathy, the number 4.
No,
Florida.
The word 4.
The
F-O-R.
word 4. Okay, yeah. Kathy, the word 4, Florida, spelled out.com, right? Okay.
That's correct.
All right, perfect.
Thank you so much.
I'll make sure that gets in the description box, as well as your phone number. I think that's awesome. Once again, that you can actually reach out to her and call her and she'll answer.
That's
so
right.
If you have questions, I definitely encourage you to do that, because like I said, this was not our first time talking. We've spoken several times before on even a personal level, and you were very helpful to me in my son's situation, which is why you're here today.
Thank you so much, Candace.
I really just appreciate, people in politics that are sincere and that are really out here advocating for people and the issues that they have. And like you said, the disability issue is one of the major things that's happening in Florida, that if you speak to people, they will tell you that there are some issues. And so to have you advocating for that in the Senate seat will be amazing. So thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Kathy. And I just want to say this. What Candace, what politician do you know that gives us their phone number? That's how you know she's the real deal. Most of them don't even want to be bothered. They give us their email to their secretary or to their assistant, and they'll call us back in a week with a follow-up email. I call Kathy, she picks up the phone. That's the type of state senator I want. Personally, I want someone that's compassionate, that's empathetic, that's going to pick up the phone when you call them, or at least get back to you within 24 hours. I don't think I call my state legislator, I still ain't heard back from her.
Right. That's sad. But we'll try, when we get there, we'll try and give them a better example.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Yes, I totally agree. Thank you so much, Kathy, for what you're doing with your campaign. I wish you nothing but success. I believe that you definitely have it in the bag. And, once you're in office, I can't wait to, still show support and for you to come back and anytime connect with Pasco Connect and share with us what you have going on. Keep us updated.
I certainly will. Be the first stop back, Pasco Connect, for sure.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for joining. You guys, I'm going to definitely put Kathy Lewis information in the description box if you want to support her campaign. Definitely, if you want to vote for her, all of that information will be in the description box. By the way, go vote.
Go vote.
And if you got ballots, turn them in and track your ballot and make sure that it's being accounted for. please do. It's very serious. I'm also going to share this information on Pasco Young Revolutionaries as we try to share a lot of information, Kathy. So Candace, thank you so much for doing this with me as well. Kathy, good luck. We're rooting for you. And like I said, I'm at your disposal for the next 3 weeks. Whatever you need, just shoot me an email or a text, and we're going to make sure you get elected.
Thank you. And vote down ballot.
Yes, folks. Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for coming. Bye. All right. Until next time, you guys. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.